Hello, gazers.
Hello, gazers, and welcome to the Problematic Gazette. Isn't that right, Dave? It's not the gays. We're having a little spin-off, aren't we?
What's that, Lee?
Well, it's basically a little chance, an extra chance for you to spend a bit more quality time with your two favourite puffs of a certain age as we chew the cud, put the world to rights sometimes, have a little think about what we discussed in our last main episode, and just, have 20 minutes, sometimes with wine, sometimes with not. We are separate. You're in PG Manor, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. And I'm in PG Towers. Just got to get the place ticking over before the autumn kicks in, make sure the boilers are working, because unfortunately we had to lay all the staff off just because of the deposit for the Royal Albert Hall, darling. So we've got a bit of a cash flow problem. So I'm just keeping it ticking over. I've got my boiler suit on.
Absolutely, and I'm just closing up some of the wings for winter because the weather does seem to have turned in the UK in the last week or so.
Yes, it does. So yeah, that's us, the Problematic Gazette. It's like a little digested little piece of gorgeousness every week in your inbox. Just another 20 minutes to spend with us. Ain't that right?
That's right. So as our gazers know, we normally take a TV or film and we dissect it and look at it through the problematic lens, and then we look at the news events and the pop charts just to put our chosen topic into context. But this is an extra little light ep where we're going to chew the fat, maybe read out some listener comments.
Yes.
Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. And maybe talk about what we've watched on telly this week. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I haven't to clear my throat because I've had the COVID this week.
No, have you really? I know you have, because I got the blame for it. I'm not accepting any responsibility for that. Thank you.
No, I mean, it could have been, well, it's my own fault for socializing because, I don't like to socialize. And now I understand there's a really good reason for that, because you get the lurgy. But anyway, I'm through the other side. There were several days flying on the sofa, feeling very lethargic, little tickle. I mean, I wasn't laid up in bed or anything. So it was a light dusting of the COVID, I would suggest, rather than fully blown out for the count COVID. But are you all right health-wise?
I am kind of. I'm just going to mention my bladder is doing my head in, Dave. It's doing my head in. So I've got to go to the GP tomorrow, just because I am a certain age. And they're not screaming prostate at me, but that's clearly what they're talking about. But I just need to go and have a few tests and stuff. But at the minute, I think I'm getting about 2 hours kip a night with the old tinky tinkle in the corner, So it's a bit tedious, I have to say.
Like a leaky sieve. You need to get a little chamber pot to put under your bed so you don't have to get up.
I've got one.
Oh. Is that something you really want to share with our gazers?
Too late. You're not editing this, are you?
No. There you go.
Well, all I will say...
Dr. Lee.
Yes, I'm unanimous in it, actually, because it's transformed my life. Honestly, if you don't want to wake us up... And let me tell you, if you're going to the toilet 5 or 6 times a night... You don't want to be going to the bathroom, switching the light on or not, or just, waking yourself up. I just slip out of bed, do my business, my show business, and slip back into bed. And there we go. What a beautiful conversation for our first sister show.
I think we need to move on.
Yes, let's crash on, David. Let's crash on. Should we talk about last week's episode on our main show, Only Fools and Horses?
Mm-hmm.
Seems to have gone down rather well.
It has. And it's always the case when we talk about UK comedy shows. It seems to garner a lot more interest. So, very popular on Fools and Horses. Have you heard anything in particular from any of our gazers?
Yes, I had a message on the Book of Face from Ebru, who says Only Fools and Horses is quite simply the best sitcom in the world. When I was trying to find stuff for the socials, and incidentally, thanks, David Jason, we've now got over 1,000 followers on TikTok because I put an interview with David Jason up there and it just went ballistic. But I was looking at clips and I got really kind of nostalgic and got a bit teary and a bit because it was just so good. And it really kind of took me back and just, there was stuff we hadn't talked about in the episode that was like, oh my God, that's great. It was just really good. And it just reaffirmed my respect for the show, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was a few comments talking about peripheral characters, and in particular, there was a lot of love for Trigger, Roger Lloyd Pack,
Yes.
which we didn't really touch upon because he wasn't in this episode, was he? That we watched last week.
No.
But yeah, I always remember the story of when he got an award for sweeping the streets with his longest serving broom.
I mean, as we said last week, I vaguely remember, but as we said, the Trigger's also one with a real air of tragedy about him, isn't he? And that's what makes him such a funny character. I remember being at a Doctor Who convention with John Challis, who played Boycie, and what a lovely man. And his wife was also lovely because he was in Doctor Who playing a supervillain in 1975. Quite hot back in the day, actually. I have to say, John Challis. Last seen getting drowned by a weed in a pond. So there you go. That's his Doctor Who career done. But he was a lovely, lovely man.
Lovely. Okay. Have we had any other Gazer input this week?
We have. We've got one little errata I've got to report. I have beaten myself with birch twigs. Oh, it's that fabulous podcast that was mentioned just a couple of times. What's it called again?
TV Gold in Australia.
TV Gold. Hello, TV Gold in Australia. And rightly so, I'd mentioned in our Stepford Wives episode that Death Wish, the Charles Bronson film, also starred his wife, Jill Ireland. And I stand corrected because actually it was Death Wish 2, which features his wife, Jill Ireland, and not the first one. So I have beaten myself senselessly and I'm back in the room.
Oh, never mind, darling. Never mind. There's a huge amounts of research that we do. That one slipped through the net, but gladly corrected now. I've had a review for us from George's Hair on Apple Podcasts. He said, I started listening to the podcast after it was mentioned in the Radio Times. It's quickly become a firm favourite and I look forward to new episodes. Keep gazing, guys. Sorry, COVID's kicking in again. I do apologise. So thank you, George's Hair.
Thank you very much. Honestly, it's great. And reviews really do help us out. So if you do feel... Oh, I've got windy pops. You've got your COVID. I've got your windy pops. It's the main show in microcosm, isn't it?
I can't reach over and burp you like I normally do.
You can't. I'd have to burp myself. I'd just throw myself against the desk a couple of times. We had a lovely, lovely comment on Instagram from Paulina. As a reasonably recently listened to your podcast, and I love it. She's a Brit living in Slovakia. And she loves the weekly dose of Britishness she gets from pods like ours. And she loves the exploration of LGBTQIA plus culture and the digging into past that, like us, is a memory for her. She listens as soon as possible when PG drops. So I've just gone back and started listening to the whole back catalogue. And we have indeed come a long way. Keep up the great gazing, she says.
That's amazing. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So that's Slovakia,
thanks,
is it?
Paulina.
So we do reach across the globe, you know.
Straddle the world, darling.
Shall I give you a few examples of where people listen to us?
Yeah, go on.
I'll only give you a few because there's quite a lot. There's the Seychelles, Chile, Indonesia, Belize, Lebanon, Guadeloupe, Ghana, the Philippines, Jamaica, Myanmar, to name a few. I could go on and on and on, but that's just, it's weird, isn't it, to think that people listen to us there. Someone a bit closer to home is Stuart. Now, Stuart's written to us a couple of times. He's a keen gazer. He's from North London. He hasn't specified exactly where because, well, that's probably very wise, actually.
Yes.
But Stuart said he particularly enjoyed the Stepford Wives episode. He's read the book and seen the film many times and found it absolutely crushing, as you pointed out, aspects that I hadn't caught before, i.e. why the wives wear such constricted outfits and Joanna's dead eyes. There's always a new discovery. And he completely agrees with us about Bobby being a great character and cherish her bond with Joanna. So that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, a moment for Bobby, please. Yes. Moment for Bobby. Well, thank you ever so much, everybody, for getting in touch. Please do. It really tickles our fancies, doesn't it, Dave, when we hear from people?
It really does. It really does. Makes it all worthwhile.
Yes, it's not just us two screaming into the void. God, here he goes again. Milking it, milking the COVID, honestly.
5 Mary over here. Yes, and because we're yeah, because we're an independent podcast, your reviews and your likes and your sharings really make a difference because we do everything ourselves, our research, 99.9% accurate. And it really means a lot. So thank you very much. Anyway, enough verbal wanking. Let's talk about what we've been up to this week.
What have you been up to this week?
Well, what I've been watching specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Shall I go first?
Go on.
Thursday Murder Club.
Now, is that a film or a series? It's a one-off, isn't it? It's a film. It's on Netflix.
On Netflix, yeah. It's directed by Chris Columbus, who did the Home Alone films, amongst others. And it's got Helen Mirren, Celia Imrie, Ben Kingsley, and Pierce Brosnan in the 4 main roles. And now it's obviously based on the book by Richard Osman, which I have read and really, really enjoyed. Okay, probably going to be controversial here. Well, not so controversial because it's been quite divisive. What I really liked about Richard Osman's book, it was very rooted in the UK cultural psyche. There were lots of references to kind of obscure Britishness. For example, Tesco meal deals, and I'm kind of paraphrasing now because I can't remember exactly, but that kind of thing, stuff that, the obscure British idiosyncrasies and, intricacies of British culture and stuff. Now, this was made for an international market, so a lot of those were taken out. And it felt to me a little bit more homogenized. It was kind of like a homogenized representation of Britain, kind of like what you see in Sex Education. That's kind of been an accusation levied at a lot of shows, hasn't it, to kind of give it broader international appeal. And then they changed the bits of the story, which, it's a novel, which, if you kind of dramatized every single word, it would probably take about 9 hours to screen it. So they have to condense it. But then they altered a few stories and kind of, it didn't really work for me. Now, a lot of people say, don't they, when you watch a film based on a book that you love, you're always going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I felt like there was a lot of money spent on it, but I think it was kind of a bit more of a triumph of style over substance. Now, Helen Mirren, massive draw, made her the main driving force of this movie, whereas in the book, to a certain extent, it's the Joyce character, which is Celia Imrie. And I think it kind of, that the homely quality of the book really, really suffered for that. I mean, Helen Mirren, brilliant. And I thought the casting was a little bit of a mixed bag. Helen Mirren as Elizabeth, brilliant. Celia Imrie, brilliant as Joyce. And Ben Kingsley as Ibrahim was good as much as he was used. Pierce Brosnan, I have to say, and I don't like to talk disparagingly of actors, but Pierce Brosnan, in my opinion, was really hideously miscast.
Okay.
As his character Ron. Because I envisaged him in my mind as being, envisaged him more of being a kind of like a Ray Winston kind of character, union man, son's a boxer, a little bit more rough and ready and less polished than Pierce Brosnan. And Pierce Brosnan's kind of London estuary accent, I'm not going to be really disparaging, but it wasn't great. And some of the peripheral characters, like Bogdan in the book, is kind of like, really beloved. He comes across as a kind of an arch character to start with, but then we dig below the surface and he's actually a really nice guy. And that his character journey was changed in it as well. Even though he was a brilliant actor, the guy, actually, I think he was one of the shining lights of it. David Tennant just playing kind of a caricature of himself, a caricature of an evil character. And even in the book, even though the character is an arch character, there was a certain charm about it and the way it was written and stuff, which is completely taken out. So anyway, overall, it felt like a slightly glossier 2-hour version of Midsummer Murders, and I thought they could have done so much better with it. But hey ho, that's just my opinion. Please feel free to comment otherwise. But there you go. That's what I've been doing, and obviously been giving it a lot of thought.
Well, I have been reading a similar, and people have said it's not offensive. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not.
It's just a bit diluted, I guess, is
Mm,
seems to be the vibe I'm getting. Because I really enjoyed the books. I know that he didn't write the screenplay, and I guess turning a book
mm,
into a 2 hour screenplay is always tricky, isn't it? And doing
yeah.
everything justice. I saw the trailer for it, and as soon as I saw the location they'd used for the home, I was like, well, that's not right. It looked like a fucking massive gothic castle or something, you know? So, well, I thought I was going to watch it, but maybe I'll put it on the B list, maybe.
Well, do you know what? I'm not going to discourage anyone from watching it because you take what you want from it. And actually, it was
Yeah.
nice to see these characters, particularly Celia
Yes.
Imrie. I just thought, I mean, Helen Mirren, always brilliant, but Celia
Yeah.
Imrie, given this, she's an actor who's not glided under the radar, but it's always kind of not had the huge amounts of chance to shine on the big screen. I mean, she was in Calendar Girls, which was brilliant, but she was amazing. She just exemplified. She embodied Joyce. She understood the mission definitely, and she
Right.
was brilliant in it.
Right. Well,
Um,
I've been watching my usual mix of ridiculous horror films, some from the 90s. I
mm,
watched an Andy Warhol 1975 called Flesh for Frankenstein yesterday, which was a bit shit. But I've just been mainly aghast at flags this week, Dave. I'm sure you've seen the flag and the flag shagging across the country, and it's just a bit like, God, it's so boring. You know, if you're going to
mm,
take the time to stick a flag up somewhere or paint a flag, do something nice for your community. You know, I saw a
mm,
picture of in a nature trail, this information board about all the lovely wildlife and animals you could see, and somebody had painted a red cross across. And it looks a bit like a fucking plague thing, to be honest. But it was just a
mm.
bit. It's so boring, honestly. And
We
how
saw
many? I
some,
mean,
didn't
I'm not.
we?
Yes, we did. Well, you took me to the airport, took me to the train station at the airport.
Mm,
Yes, some Union Jacks hanging off a fly at a bridge, weren't they? God, I mean,
mm.
that doesn't make me feel proud. Does it make you feel proud?
That's the thing, you see. I mean, one of our neighbours, hangs a St George's cross out on kind of celebration times, the
Mm,
jubilees and all that kind of thing, and that's very much kind of the celebration of Englishness, isn't it?
mm,
That kind of
mm.
use of it, but then it feels like it's been hijacked. It has been
Yeah,
hijacked by certain elements of
yeah,
society to represent
yeah,
something
yeah,
different, which is in
yeah.
stark contrast to what traditional Englishness and patriotism
Mm,
means.
yeah,
But yeah, we could go on about that for ages, but it just feels so blaming the wrong people here.
absolutely. And also, some people clearly cannot draw a red cross on a white background. No. It's not that difficult. If you're going to do it, please get it right. Do you want to know something else to cheer you up, darling?
Go on.
The other day was the last dusk after 8 p.m. until April. Yeah. The nights are coming in, love.
Nights coming in. Da, da, da,
Mm.
da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da,
yeah,
da. Are you looking forward to
yeah.
Strictly this year?
I think I am because it's got Alex Kingston. You know, anybody from Doctor
Ah,
Who,
yes.
River Song twirling around the
Yes.
dance floor. Yes. And I actually know quite a lot of them. So
Hmm.
it's kind of tipped the other way, which I'm quite happy with.
Who's in the lineup this year for Strictly? Who's in the lineup for Strictly this year? Just asking the phone. Here we go. La 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 la. Oh, so yeah, we've got little Danny Dyer, got
Hmm.
Balvin de Sopel from EastEnders, Stefan Dennis. Don't it make you feel good?
I know. I mean, that's a proper blast from the past, isn't it?
Vicky Pattinson from Your Neck of the Woods.
What does she do?
She was on Geordie Shore and then she won the Jungle. I like her.
Oh,
She's got a nice personality.
neither of which I've seen. It means nothing to me.
Thomas Skinner.
Geordie Shore and the fucking jungle. Can't think of anything worth a worth double in my life. Sorry, carry on.
And then a few other people who I can't really. There's like a footballer, a rugby
Hmm.
player.
The rugby player's great.
Um,
He was on Richard Osman. He was on House of Games, and he was really funny and really lovely. She's going to
was
charm the
he?
pants off you. Yeah, he's going to charm the pants off you. And knowing the kind of bloke that sometimes gets your fancy going, you're going to need your tenor lady on a Saturday night, love. I'm telling you.
There's a chap from Emmerdale who looks rather dishy, but is young, so that might be
Yes.
a little bit
Mm,
inappropriate to say.
mm.
Lavoie, the drag queen, Lavoie.
Lovely. A breakout star of last
Yes.
series of RuPaul.
Oh, really? Was he? She? Oh my
I
God,
mean,
going to get
just
cancelled.
fantastic. Just fantastic, honestly. Old school, but funny, sharp, really clever, really good.
We've got a YouTuber, George Clark. Now, we can't criticise YouTubers because we are ourselves YouTubers.
Now we're YouTubers as well, darling. So we've got to be supportive, haven't we? Got to be supportive.
We do. Ellie Goldstein, who's a trailblazing model, actor, and influencer. In 2003, made history as the first model with Down syndrome to grace the cover of British Vogue.
And I saw, as soon as she was announced, I saw the usual twats online going, oh, well, that's another box ticked. You know, it's like, can you just stop being so bloody fucking horrible? Come out your own arse for a second, would you? You know, we've got this beautiful girl. What I love about Strictly is it's experiencing and seeing these disabilities that you never, and thinking about them in a new way, it really brings home to them. So good on them, I say. Anyway, obviously, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be discussing the lineup on Celebrity Traitors too, darling, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, but let's not do that now. Let's hold that. Let's hold that for October.
Well, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up on the Problematic Gazette. Do you know what?
Yes,
we've picked another title to our podcast that we have to actually explain what it means.
Yeah.
How many times when you're saying, "Oh, I do a podcast called The Problematic Gaze," GAZE.
GAZE, yeah, and we are gays, but it's not about us. Yes.
It's the play on words.
Yeah, the Gazette was, I thought, like, it's like a little version of our show. So it's like a cigarette or a maisonette. It's the Gazette. And obviously here we are explaining it. Just go with it, everybody. Just go with it. Thank you.
Just go with it. So, okay, let's wrap up because this is supposed to be short and sweet and I'm not editing
Yes, it is. What have you got coming up in the coming week? Anything exciting?
Some very hardcore, intense writing to do, concentrated. So if you don't hear from me for 4 days, because I'm doing me Angela Lansbury on steroids.
Okay, gosh. You know what happens when Angie gets on the steroids? I've got my cinema screening of that documentary I was in about my friend Jax, the actress. There's a private screening, not a private screening actually, in a cinema next Sunday morning. So I should be going with that.
Tell us more. Who's Jax?
Jax was Jacqueline Pearce, old actress, used to be in Blake 7, and who I became best friends with in 2012 and was best friends until she died. And we had a great time. And then they did a really lovely documentary on her for the Blake 7 season 2 Blu-ray release.
Which you contributed to, didn't you?
Yes, I was a talking head. I had to get some stories censored. I told some stories and said, actually, we just take that one out. We can't have that one. Can't have that one. No, take it out.
Have you got your outfit sorted out?
I'm not sure. I think it's quite low key. I don't think it's it's 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure you spread the word of the Problematic Gaze GAZE podcast. I've
got business cards. Got the business cards, love. I'll be taking them, giving them out all willy-nilly. We've got some other exciting things coming up, haven't we? But
we have. We've got some special guests coming onto our podcast pretty soon, but that's all we can say. It's all hush, top secret. We've got the War Game episode about to be released. Yes, all things nuclear apocalypse. Fabulous. We've got some episodes on Secret Diary of a Call Girl, and we've also got episodes on The Office. Cagney and Lacey.
Coming up. Don't try and find them. Because they're not out yet. And we'll be back next week for another 20-minute Gazette just to see how we're doing.
Yes. In the meantime, gazers, keep gazing, basically, and keep spreading the word of the Problematic Gaze. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Podcast Gaze, GAZE.
And until next week, Dave, au reservoir.
Au reservoir.